Welcome back to another episode of the R&D podcast. We're here today on August 21st, 6 p.m. Central. We're going to be talking about the Auburn Baylor game today. My name's Dalton. I'm joined here today with
RJ.
we got a pretty good one in store for you today. We got an Auburn fan to my right. I'm a Bama fan, but this is a pretty interesting matchup to me. I think you got two pretty decent quarterbacks, Jackson Arnold and Sawyer Robertson. Saw, not so good from Jackson Arnold last year to beat my Crimson Tide, but that's not to be talked about. Sawyer Robertson shows flashes of being a great quarterback. Baylor to be a contender in the Big 12 this year. And Auburn to be a pretty good SEC team. Has a lot of potential, a lot of talent on the roster. Starting off today, RJ, this game, what team has more pressure on them? You got Auburn, you got Baylor. Auburn's looking for a good year in the SEC. Would you say Auburn's probably more under pressure in this game?
No doubt, Dalton. Auburn is very under pressure. Yeah.
You got Hugh Freeze. He loses his first game. What does his career look like at all? I mean, he starts off this year bad like that. What do you?
He's going to be more and more on the hot seat. I'll tell you that.
Yeah. He's done a great job recruiting. These are two coaches, Dave Aranda and Hugh Freeze, that have built these programs really and truly from ground up. Kind of got them at a bad time, recruited well. They've kind of molded together some rosters, and this is kind of looking like a great opening game. Auburn opens the game as a 2.5-point favorite. That's a pretty good spread for them, especially going to Waco. Jackson Arnold. Let's talk about him a little bit. Transferred in from Oklahoma, lackluster season, had some ups and downs last year. What do you think as an Auburn fan? This is one of those games that it's interesting to talk about on this podcast because you being an Auburn fan, what do you think you need to see from Jackson Arnold in this first game?
Good decisions. A lot more legs from him, and none of those turnovers, honestly.
Yeah, so
no turnovers.
Win the turnover battle if you're Auburn.
Yep.
I feel like Auburn's got a lot of good weapons. They got a great receiving core. They got a pretty good running back room. Jackson Arnold possesses the great ability to run as a quarterback with his legs. I mean, we saw that last year. His decision making, the RPO scheme that Hugh Freeze likes to run. He's not the sole play caller anymore, so we don't know what we're really going to see completely.
No.
But if Jackson Arnold can hang on to the ball, get the ball out on time, and not take too many sacks, which Auburn returns a pretty good offensive line, probably one of the best rosters Auburn's had in a long time.
Yeah. I'm have to agree with you there. I feel like this team can do something this year. I feel like they're going to be the dark horse this year.
Yeah, no doubt. I agree they'll be a good team in the SEC. I think they will upset some people, and I think they'll lose some games kind of like they shouldn't lose, kind of in Auburn fashion. But you look at the rosters, right? You look at Auburn. You're looking at a top 20 defense for Baylor is what people are saying. One of the top defenses in the Big 12. You look at Auburn, a potential top 20 offense. Great matchup here. Baylor had a problem at forcing turnovers last year.
These two teams right here had a turnover competition last year. I tell you that.
Yeah, no doubt. No doubt. And then also we're talking about Jackson Arnold coming over and him not making mistakes. The video of Hugh Freeze crawling him in practice the other day. What do you think about that? Do you think that's frustrating? That's frustration coming out, or do you think that's just something that happens? And
it's coaching.
Yeah.
Like if he didn't care about Jackson Arnold, he was just going to next play.
No doubt.
It's just coaching, and it's really the Auburn beat writers are just making us look bad. It's not Alabama. It's no one else. It's Auburn's writers that's making us look bad. I mean, just because Hugh Freeze throws his hat down and yells at Jackson Arnold doesn't mean he's doing bad. It's passionate coaching. He wants to be good. Hugh Freeze knows this might be his last season at Auburn. So he's gonna try his best to win every game possible. So,
we've talked a lot about Jackson Arnold. Let's move on to Sawyer Robertson. This kid last year, 3,071 yards passing, 28 touchdowns, 8 interceptions, and a pretty good athlete, really and truly. He can get outside the pocket. We talked about how Jackson Arnold probably wins the running aspect of the quarterbacks, but really and truly, Sawyer Robertson is sneaky athletic. What do you think Auburn needs to do to be able to shut him down?
Contain the outside. and they also have pretty good receivers, Prentice and Cameron.
Mm-hmm.
So if we can put a lot of pressure, that's what DJ Durkin likes to do. Likes to rush. So if we can send the rush and contain the quarterback, Auburn would definitely win this game.
Mm-hmm.
So because
Auburn.
our DBs has been the talk of off season. The whole defense has been the talk on off season. There's only been good things that's been said on defense.
What you have a good defensive line.
Right.
You have Keldrick Fault, top 5 draft pick, more than likely, top 10 draft pick at least.
Yep.
You have a good secondary. You know, the only really room that maybe has not gotten as much love is the linebacking room, but you have DeMarcus Riddick. He's going to end up being a draft pick, probably a high draft pick. He's got the potential to be a good player.
Robert Williard is another good one.
Yeah, no doubt. But this is another thing that Baylor poses. They have a first round, early second round draft pick in a tight end. He's an absolute baller.
Yeah, they do have a good tight end.
The running back room can catch the ball out of the backfield really well. Sawyer Robertson can get the ball to him. You add Kobe Prentice in the portal. He's a great addition. So Auburn's going to have, this is a great game off the start of the year to show off the SEC versus the Big 12.
Yeah.
You know, you have Auburn, who's kind of a mid-tier SEC team, has the potential to be a top tier or has the potential to be absolutely terrible. You never know with Auburn.
Yeah, they have a blow scheme sometimes. Yeah,
no doubt, and that's everything. You know, every team has their ups and downs. But let's talk about this. What does Baylor have to do to win this game at home?
They're 5,000 better be loud.
Yeah,
and
Auburn's going to travel well to this game.
Yeah, no doubt. But if Sawyer Robertson makes smart decisions, less turnovers, I feel like whoever has the most turnovers is going to lose this game, honestly.
Yeah.
Because Baylor's one of the worst turnover teams in the Big 12 last year, and Auburn was one of the worst turnover teams in the SEC last year. So it all depends on that and not letting the rush get to your quarterback, Sawyer Robertson. So
I think you look at Baylor, but also then you look at the turnover battle. Like whoever's able to overcome the turnover battle and win the turnover battle, have the most turnovers forced, you get the best potential to win the game. But we also have Auburn getting off the field on third downs. Like in clutch situations last year, you know, first and second down, they looked like the best defense in the country. Third down, you know, you give it up. Like,
well, we'll get so close to the quarterback, and the quarterback will roll out and throw a deep ball, and they'll complete the third down. You know, we just got to wrap up, secure that tackle. You know,
yeah,
that's our biggest problem on third downs. You know, because we'll look amazing on first and second downs, and we just blow the third down and just ruins the whole drive for us, honestly. So.
And adding on to that, I think that's another key to Baylor being able to win the game is Sawyer Robertson being able to improvise and get outside the pocket and make these, you know, draw on these Auburn corners, draw on the linebackers, and be able to drop it off at the top of them, get some type of big score. Because I don't think you're going to be able to establish a run against this defensive front for Auburn. Like, not completely. You'll have your couple of gashes. You may be able to get, you know, your 2 or 3 yards every now and then. But you're not going to be able to just run it down the throat.
Beating Auburn over the top will win the game for Baylor.
Yeah,
I feel like so.
You know, as we continue to talk about this game, Auburn 2.5-point favorite. ESPN prediction matchup has Baylor at 51%. You know, likely to win the game. It's more of a 50-50 game, really and truly. How do you feel about Auburn almost being an underdog against Baylor?
Yeah, I don't like it, honestly. I feel like it'll be a close game going in half. They may be winning in half, you know, like 17-10, but I don't think Baylor has the depth and defense to stop the Auburn Tigers. With Eric Singleton, Cam Coleman, Malcolm Simmons, Perry Thompson, and Bryce Kane, and then the backfield you got Damari Alston, Jeremiah Cobb, you know, and then a 4-star freshman, Alvin Henderson, and one of the better lines that's supposed to be in Auburn about 6, maybe 5 years, you know. So, and then Jackson Arnold with Hugh Freeze's RPO scheme will have Auburn in good predicament this game and throughout the season. So
No doubt. No doubt.
yeah.
Moving on to the next segment, I guess if you want to say the betting lines and the score predictions and things like this. We obviously all know that you're going to have your Auburn Tigers favorited. That's kind of a key staple of yours. How does this game affect Auburn? Like, if Auburn wins this game in a good fashion, what do you think it looks like for Auburn throughout the rest of the season?
Well,
I mean,
we beat supposed to be the Big 12 champ right here. So I feel like this is a good look for Auburn. And if we can not blow games, especially against South Alabama or Ball State, it'll be a good season for Auburn. I feel like Auburn will have a playoff run, honestly, with the team we got and the transfers we got in and returning. I feel like Auburn will be a sleeper this year, truly and honestly. So
yeah, this is definitely this is the most talent they've had on a roster since 2021, 2019, or what however you want to say it. But the playoff run may be a hot take for some people. I don't think Auburn has Georgia and Bama at home this year, which that could be scary going into Jordan-Hare. You never know.
Yeah. Auburn doesn't know, so
for sure. So
4-31.
Also, Baylor looking to have a great season this year. A lot of potential between these two teams. Really and truly a great matchup off the start of the season. You have two teams that have great talent on the rosters, match up pretty well against each other. We're in for a good game, really and truly, to open up the Friday night, week 1, right before you have all these big games on Saturday. This is a great game to get college football week 1 started off.
No doubt.
We'll move on to our score predictions here. We have RJ coming in with the 38-20. Elaborate on that a little bit. What do you think is going to unfold?
I think come the third quarter. See, Auburn's never been to halftime after third and fourth quarter team, especially fourth quarter. So I feel like this year that will change. If Auburn can leave everything in the past from last year or 2 years, no, I'm sorry, 4 years maybe, but if they can leave all that in the past and start from this year, I feel like Auburn can have this game by 38-20. And I don't feel like Baylor has the depth to finish this game out. It'll be close going into halftime, but Auburn takes it.
I don't disagree with you there. I got Auburn winning the game 31-24. I think at the end of the day, they're both two great teams. I think it'll be a close game. I think it'll go down to the wire. But I think Auburn's depth in their receiver room is what really stands out. I think that you'll have a big play from Eric Singleton. You'll have a big play from Cam Coleman. Malcolm Simmons is a sleeper. Jackson Arnold's just got to get the ball to these guys. And as long as he's able to do that and not do too much, not overplay his role, Auburn will be perfectly fine. Looking at the betting side of things, my favorite bet right now is Auburn 2.5. I think it's going to be a field goal game. I mean, a lot of lines have bumped. I've seen it go to 3. I've seen it go to 3.5. But really and truly, I wouldn't go. I think this can be a pretty close game. It could end up being a field goal game. So 2.5 line for Auburn. I like that. I think that's a good place to make your money. What are you thinking? 2.5 line for Auburn, I'm guessing?
I mean, if you want to make money, put your money on Auburn. But yeah.
If you want to make money, put your money on Auburn. I like it. But I mean, this will be a great matchup to start off the season. I think Auburn is looking to do great things, and Baylor's gonna have a great team this year. The first week says a little bit more for Auburn than it does Baylor. Baylor can take a loss and probably rebound a little bit better than Auburn will be able to.
Yeah.
But with all that being said, this has been the R&D podcast. My name's Dalton.
RJ.
And appreciate you checking us out. Like and subscribe, and stay tuned for more.